the panels we've heard today, we've heard a lot about how businesses and corporations are relatively new to protecting nature and to biodiversity. And I want to push back on that a little bit, and in fact, also encourage the idea of bringing companies and businesses into these type of forum. And just our company was founded in 1969, and one of our founders had the opportunity to participate in the first Earth Summit in Rio in 1992, and was so impacted by what he heard that was happening in biodiversity around the world and the importance of protecting endemic species that came back to the Dominican Republic and decided to make environmental ethics encoded in the philosophy of the company, and took a 1,500-acre plot and set it aside in perpetuity as a protected area. And then went farther, and he and the other founders of the company created a foundation and titled that land to the foundation so that if the company was ever sold or changed hands, that couldn't be taken away. So that ecological reserve is still existing today. And that led to all kinds of engagement in biodiversity protection, in scientific research, and in a huge 30-year history in sustainability programs that's led us to do over 20 years of experimentation in coral restoration with numerous partners from around the world. We've worked on the protection of endangered species. We've worked on the management of solid waste. So there's a huge number of ways that companies can engage on all types of environmental issues, and including biodiversity and nature. And I think it's a really important lesson. We've heard also today that on one of the previous panels that businesses didn't always feel so welcome at biodiversity summits and at different conferences, but I think there can be huge advances if we are able to communicate with the business sector correctly. We can engage them in a way, and we can also learn from some of their ideas. Just to give a sense, our ecological reserve, no resort in its right mind is going to set aside 1,500 acres and just say, this is just for nature. Instead, we built trails so that guests could visit the ecological reserve, and then we began charging for guided tours to the ecological reserve, and that helped fund many of our efforts to do scientific research in the reserve. So it becomes sort of a circular economy of environmental protection. So you have a privately protected area that also has a way to be funded. I think there's a lot of innovation that can come out of the private sector if we engage the private sector in the right way.